This episode of Bourbon on Ice, presented by Your Friend Frosty and your bartender Mike Whiskey, is brought to you by the Cape Media Center of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The views and opinions expressed during this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the Cape Media Center. Listener discretion is advised. Hilarious and sardonic statement.
Adroit misuse of words. Roll the music.
Welcome, listeners, to Bourbon on Ice,
where we talk about everything nerdy, like gentlemen.
Join us every week for our local Cape Cod take on, well, everything.
Laugh, cry, be confused, and laugh some more.
I'm your friend Frosty.
And I'm your bartender, Mike Whiskey. Stay tuned.
You think they'll like the episode?
Oh, they'll definitely love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a non-stop, intense, over-the-top... Forget it. Hi, everyone. It's me, Frosty.
And your bartender, Mike Whiskey.
And this is yet another episode of Bourbon on Ice, where we discuss all things nerdy,
like gentlemen. Actually, you know what, Frosty? Before we get too deep into things...
How deep are we going to get?
I don't know.
Okay, then. Sounds like a good time to stop.
I had like a random shower thought earlier today, and I just need to know.
You have random shower thoughts?
I do.
How long are your showers?
About 5 minutes.
Mine are like 15, because, you know, hair and luxury products and all that stuff. I am a gay, after all.
That's true.
There we did. We checked that off the docket.
We did. No. What I was wondering was, if my evil persona is dark whiskey, does that make yours chocolate frosty? He was not expecting that.
I was not.
I wonder if any of you were expecting that.
I put my glass way over there for this exact reason. I didn't know a burn was coming, but I expected one at any point.
I asked in half seriousness, too. What is the evil version of Frosty? I suspect it's chocolate Frosty.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. They're not usually up this high.
Coffee? A coffee-flavored Frosty?
Oh my god. This episode has lost complete control. I don't know how to get it back on track. We had a topic, right?
We did have a topic, and this one was actually inspired by one of our viewers.
Wait, say nothing.
I'm sorry, not viewers, listeners.
Say nothing, I'm about to take a drink.
Nothing. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
I realized halfway through my sip, the clever pun comeback he just did, and I was like, no, keep going.
The oldest trick in the book.
I hate you. In the most wonderful way, but still, you...
I love you too, Frosty.
Alright, so, as Whiskey was saying, a friend of mine, sent me a meme, quite literally, a list of words that are just plain, kooky.
I don't know about kooky, but most of them sound foreign at the very least.
At any rate, he then said, you should totally talk about this on the podcast, and I took one look at it and said, yeah, we totally should.
We totally should.
This requires very little research on our part. I'm not using my English degree.
In fact, I actually just read through it before we started. You haven't really had a chance to go through it yet.
I got like the top 5. And then that's it, we need to... Rare for me, yes.
Yeah, rare for you.
I'm unprepared and slovenly today.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm prepared.
Yes.
I did shave recently.
But we need nothing but our own past experiences.
Whatever you say. I mean, yes.
Sorry.
Let me make sure mine is off. Mine was just on vibrate, but I'll dig that out. Today when I was getting drunk, I kept wondering why I was hearing a buzzing. It was because I left the buzz on. Bugs! Somewhere, bugs!
Bugs!
This list is 23 emotions people feel but can't explain. I love this already.
As do I. I've heard a few of these before, to be perfectly honest.
So this is quite possibly the most nitpicky, uninteresting thing that will ever exist anywhere, because no one anywhere was like, hey, you need to know this? Let me see if I can rephrase this. You know what? Let's just start the list.
Yes.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Number 1, Sonder. The realization that each passerby has a life as vivid and complex as your own.
I wouldn't understand that emotion. I've never had that.
No?
No.
That's odd.
People as vivid and complex as me? Where are we going with this? What's the joke here? I'm sorry, but what?
It's hard to be humble when you're as perfect as Frosty.
I know, right? All right, what's our next one?
Our next one is opia, or opia. I don't know quite the correct pronunciation, but it's the ambiguous intensity of looking someone in the eye, which can feel simultaneously invasive and vulnerable.
I know that,
In other words, eye contact is awkward. That's not something that's difficult to explain.
I know that this is a thing, it's just I never knew there was a name for this thing.
Yeah. I don't have that issue. I usually make pretty good eye contact.
Who on earth says, hey, you know that feeling you get when you're staring someone in the eyes and you're feeling both vulnerable and evasive? We should name that.
Opia.
Go ahead.
All right. Our next one is monocopsis. The bittersweetness Oh, I'm sorry. The subtle but persistent feeling of being out of place.
There's a word for that?
Yes, monocopsis.
I feel that so often. I mean, when I'm drinking, usually. But
I like the next one.
Okay.
We could probably have an entire episode dedicated to this one word alone.
Wait a minute.
It sounds French, which makes me not like it. But
Oh
I
my-
like it all the same. Innument.
Or is that ennui meant?
No, it's probably inhuman. The bittersweetness of having arrived in the future, seeing how things turned out, but not being able to tell your past self. As you can see, folks, we're heading deep into r/oddly specific today.
I mean, again, yes, hey guys, you know that feeling you get when we travel to the future? You went to the future again? Yes, I totally go to the future all the time.
In my spare time, I ride there on my bicycle.
What kook was paid to come up with that word? Okay, one more.
Obviously, someone French. This also sounds like it might be French. Number 5, Velicore. The strange wistfulness of used bookshops. And having visited a number of used bookshops, I feel this one.
This is Cape Cod. There are so many used bookshops out here.
My favorite one is the one, is it Yarmouth? No. Yeah, it's in Yarmouth, on 6A. Beautiful. It's got like 14-foot high ceilings, stacked floor to ceiling.
Oh, the
books.
blue place over on 6A?
Yeah, although
With the shelves outside? Oh,
I think it might be white now, though.
You know what? I drive past that thing a lot. I should really look at it. When you come into the delivery business, you stop looking at houses and you're mostly like, number, mailbox.
Yep.
The rest could be on fire behind you, but you will be that diligent sitcom movie guy who drives by the disaster, puts the mail in the box, and then keeps driving.
I want to see that in a disaster movie now.
I swear it's happened. I just don't quote me on it. Okay, now my turn. Let's see. Number 6 on this list is rubatosis, the unsettling awareness of your own heartbeat.
Now, I'll be honest, I've never felt this one.
I've been honest. Now I won't be able to stop. What's going on? Why are you rubbing your... Oh, just a little rubatosis.
That reminds me, in one of the D&D books, in like the personality traits and stuff from like fleshing out your character sections, for one of the classes, it actually says like, your heartbeat once last week, it startled you.
I really got to thank Bob, who sent this to me. Thank you so much, Bob. We're like 6 in, we're already losing it. Okay, but number 7. Canopsia. The eerie, forlorn atmosphere of a place that is usually bustling with people but is now abandoned and quiet.
I know this one all too well, having previously worked as a security guard, being at malls and hotels and school campuses. And the worst one is like children's playgrounds at night.
Oh, dude, you're depressing me.
It's just creepy.
There was this artist, through the internet. Away!
Whoosh.
I can't find it, sorry. It's very odd when I'm asking Google to look up, so it's not really helping me, but there was this artist who created all of these photographs of what Disney World would look like in the future if it was all flooded and overrun by nature, and honestly,
Ooh.
I mean, they show some of the rides, some of the iconic things like the Dumbo ride cart and the flooding of Main Street, and just, it doesn't look silly. It just looks so... Well, this word. It looks so canopsic that... Canopsic that you just can't help but stare at this and say, oh my gosh, I would love to actually see this. It would be terrible, but I would love to see this. What could become of the place? And I didn't realize that had a... This list is going to be me mostly saying I didn't realize this had a word.
Yeah, this next word is German, and I can speak a little bit of German, so I will cover Mauerbauer Traurigkeit.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to go Mauerbauer Traurigkeit.
Yeah, no, it's Mauerbauer Traurigkeit. Which is?
The inexplicable urge to push people away, even close friends who you really like. Oh, Germany, I love you so much.
And this is hashtag relatable.
I can't imagine the two other people in the world who would need this word more than us. Okay. Number 9 is Jouska, or possibly Juska.
Yeah, possibly.
The hypothetical conversion... A hypothetical conversation that you compulsively play out in your head.
Every time in the shower, when you like, I should have said this.
Driving down the road in my delivery truck, like 5 times a day.
F you, Karen.
We're having a Juska. What's going on, Whiskey? I'm having a bad Juska right now.
That sounds like a drink, man.
I know.
I'm having a Juska.
And finally, number 10, chrysalism. The amniotic tranquility of being indoors during a thunderstorm.
I love this one. I adore thunderstorms so much. They're just wonderful to fall asleep to. It's just cozy, great for cuddles with your partner. Especially if they're scared of thunderstorms.
Hey, babe, want to head inside for a little chrysalism? No one's using that word.
Yeah.
No, you've got people who genuinely like, oh, I love being indoor during a thunderstorm.
Merry Chrysalism.
But no one... Again, who was nitpicky enough to say, that particular sensation that I've noticed, it needs a title? Because that was a problem that needed solving.
The Cape Media Center, located in Dennisport, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is a non-profit community media center and the public access TV station for the towns of Barnstable, Yarmouth, Dennis, Harwich, and Chatham. Our mission is to build community through media, enhance democratic communication, and facilitate free expression by providing these towns with a state-of-the-art media resource center. Members can become trained in our video and audio equipment and produce their own media content. Membership includes training classes, access to our field equipment, studios and facility, as well as airtime. Podcasters and music producers can share their content on our website. For more information, visit capemedia.org.
This episode of Bourbon on Ice is brought to you by Market Street Bookshop in Mashpee Commons, located at 31 Market Street, Mashpee, Massachusetts. Embrace diversity and find support for local authors and artists at the Market Street Bookshop, where your favorite new read is just a browse away. For more information, give them a call at 508-539-6985. You know, the sad thing about some of these words is that we may be telling you about them now, but you're never going to remember them.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to remember Mauerbauer Traurigkeit.
I mean, no offense. Some of these are situations and things that occur so infrequently and rarely that you're not just pointing at that and saying, oh, look, there's a Juska.
Yeah. You might remember Juska, though.
You might.
A few of these words will stick out, and they're going to enter your vernacular. But most of these are just going to go in one ear and out the other.
No one's remembering the rubatosis. No one's remembering the Velicor.
Yeah.
Those sound like Pokemon.
They really do.
All right, let's continue this list.
Our next word, number 11, is another German word, so I'm glad that I've got it. Vermutdeln. Vermutdeln. The frustration of photographing something amazing when thousands of identical photos already exist. Have you ever felt this, dear listener? It's so oddly specific.
It's almost bitchy.
It is almost bitchy. Man, I wanted to take a picture of this double rainbow with a lightning bolt going through them, but there's already 40 of these on the internet.
That was a case of Vemutdalen. That was a case of Vemutdalen.
Dalen.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on.
Our next word
Putting the drink down.
Is one that I actually really like on this list. Anecdote. Not anecdote. 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 Which is a conversation which everyone is talking, but no one is listening. Have you ever had an anecdote?
Yeah. It's called work. It's called grocery stores. It's called line at the bank. It's called being in a bar.
It's called the family Christmas party.
Marriage.
Oh, Elder Nerd just chimed in with it's called marriage.
Thank you, Elder Nerd. I can't believe that. I would have just thought, if anything, the term would have been like loud argument. But someone was like, okay, there's more than 2 people here. In fact, there's more than 3. And there's a room full. Let's take that into account. You know what? This is now a word.
Again, this sounds German, so thank you, Germany.
All right.
Our next word, number 13, is ellipsism, which is a sadness that you will never be able to know how history turns out.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was the ending from Hamilton. But they sing it a lot better.
They do sing it a lot better. Don't quit the day job.
How dare ya, probably. Although, as you pointed out, when I go to karaoke and I do a good job and there's a band, I'm technically warming up for them.
Yeah.
Okay, the saddest you'll never... That is just...
Can't say I really feel that one.
It's nihilistic.
No,
the little Luma Lee from the Super Mario Brothers movie should say this.
All right, number 14. This almost sounds like Asian. Somewhere in Asia. Maybe Japanese, maybe Chinese. Well,
It looks kind of Japanese, honestly.
It does. Kuibiko, which is a state of exhaustion inspired by acts of senseless violence. This one should be very familiar for you, Frosty.
Frosty's life, thou art Kubico. Oh my gosh, I cannot... I just thought that was, being alive, possessing sentiment.
Surviving.
I mean, you can picture the that little blue Lumily going. You experience Kubico, a state of exhaustion inspired by acts of senseless violence. And
That
then
Lumily.
making his little laugh. There's like so many T-shirts with him on it right now.
I'm sure.
Okay.
And number 15, lachicism, the desire to be struck by disaster, to survive a plane crash, or to lose everything in a fire, etc.
Didn't Bruce Willis do a movie about that?
I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did a movie about that. I think there's been a lot of movies about that.
No, it was a very famous M. Night Shyamalan one, and they had a recent I don't want to say resurgence. There was a movie that came out with James McAvoy.
Okay.
Impulse, I think it was. Okay, there's a lot I should be looking up here. Yes, M. Night Shyamalan came out with a movie many years ago, which I am struggling to look up right now because I feel I should remember this, about a man who had the most tender bones that he could break at any minute, and he became obsessed with the idea that there must be someone out there who is his complete polar opposite, an unbreakable man. So he starts causing massive incidents and accidents, crashing trains, blowing up buildings, just so he can find the one guy, and he accidentally finds Bruce Willis, who has this power. And the two of them inevitably go to battle as reluctant superhero versus supervillain. This movie was actually, for an M. Night Shyamalan movie, received with people going, oh, I totally get it. You guys totally get it? But it actually spawned a sequel years later.
Oh, wow.
And as I said, James McAvoy, the, in my opinion, very good stand-in for Professor X. Split, yes, that came out in 2016.
Aha.
They used a backdoor pilot from that movie, and then they brought all the characters together from this movie that was years ago to now.
Wow.
And since I'm sitting here looking at the screen, if it's Unbreakable, which has been on the tip of my tongue this entire time, I'll lose my mind. It was Unbreakable. I could have just said, I think the movie's called Unbreakable. But I'm like, no.
We need to call a new word for that feeling when you have the word on the tip of your tongue.
Is that on the list?
No, it is not on the list.
Oh my gosh.
But you had the exact same feeling of like many people where they're looking at like the multiple choice question and they know that the answer is C. And then they see D, but then they're like, wait a minute, is it D?
That's just, it's so cruel. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing anyone with an actual word. Not like defenestration.
Right?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite words.
That's a great word. We should get back to the list. It's my turn now. Okay. Number 16 is... This sounds a little bit like a spell that Harry Potter might be shouting.
It does.
Excellensis! Excellensis. The tendency to give up trying to talk about an experience because people are unable to relate to it. That is deep.
That probably sounds like this entire list.
That is deep. Oh. And again, someone like pointing at that. Oh, see that? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 17... Adrenitis. Frustration with how long it takes to get to know someone.
I've never experienced this.
Slip that into conversation. I can't do it. I can't think of a sentence where you would just casually bring up adrenitis.
I know.
Wow, there's Becky. Things aren't going well. We're having adrenitis. I'm feeling adrenitis at this moment because the new guy. Don't.
It doesn't flow easily.
It's so stupid.
I'll cut you another reprieve.
Yes,
for
go
number
ahead,
18.
please. There's no way I'll get through that.
Yeah. Rukkarun. Oh my gosh, even I'm getting this wrong.
You're doing no better than I would have.
Rukkarun Rua.
Rukkarun. The feeling of returning home after an immersive trip only to find it fading rapidly from your awareness. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. The feeling of returning home after an immersive trip only to find it rapidly fading from your awareness. I don't think many people experience Rukkarun today because we have Facebook and social media and Twitter.
That's true, and we take so many pictures.
Yeah, and we post them everywhere. No one's had Rukkarun in quite some time. This is a Rukkarun free zone. Oh gosh. 19 is Notice Tollens.
This almost sounds Latin.
It does actually.
It's another Harry Potter spell.
The realization that the plot of your life doesn't make sense to you anymore. Stop patting me on the shoulder. Stop giving me that withering look. Like the last couple of words. He keeps looking at me pointedly. Oh my gosh.
Well, they perfectly describe your life, Chocolate Frosty.
Chocolate Frosty and the Notice Tollens. It sounds like a Harry Potter book, all right? So, I'm guessing some old, miserable spinster of a woman who lost it all over and over and was at the end of her life staring at the fading sunlight, the curtains flimsy moving, flies on the ceiling, and she says, you know what?
It doesn't make sense.
Notice Tollens.
Yeah, notice tolerance.
Wait, it's a new word! And she writes it down and runs and tells the people. Whose life went so badly that they had to coin this term, notice tolerance?
I feel like a perfect place to say notice tolerance would be that moment when you say, "Are we the baddies?"
And my last one is onism. The frustration of being stuck in just one body that inhabits only one place and time. I've experienced onism.
Have you?
Yes.
As have I. There have been many times where I wish I could just teleport or just, like, stop time, get all my work done, unfreeze time, and relax the rest of the day.
Well, actually, this raises a really good psychological aspect. Well, philosophical is actually what I meant to say. This offers a very philosophical look. Blunt and simple. You will never be outside your own body.
Yes.
You will never know if beyond yourself everything is as you actually perceive it. And when people ask what this means, this goes right up there with the whole tree falling in the forest and can you hear it thing. Or does the world stop existing when I shut a door? Blunt and simple, when you think about this, it's you will never be able to know if you are truly colorblind or not.
Yeah.
You look over at a red apple and you say, oh, I know that color, it's red. But how do you know that you are not a special form of colorblind? And at this moment, what you're seeing as red, the person across from you sees as bright orange. Or the person next to him sees it as vibrant purple. You just take everything for granted, like, oh yes, this is how it is, the world. And there's that thing, people say, like, is that what I sound like when they hear a recording of themselves? Yeah. I thought I had this. Well, there's another example. You can hear someone else's perception of your voice because it's what everyone is hearing. How do I put that in a better way? Okay, but
we need a new word.
The idea is also that, you will never know if there are other things happening at the exact same time as you were doing this, whatever it is. You cannot be omniscient. You cannot float out of your body and check outside of the house and the room. You just have to take faith that they're actually happening. That idea is called onism. I had no idea that it existed. Because we study this and like, onism.
There's actually a new thought coming out of some of the science fields that the issue with quantum mechanics, that if something goes unobserved, does it actually exist? Well, black holes may be universal observers.
Whoa.
That's like a brandy new thought.
Wow. I like that. It terrifies me. But I like that a lot. This got really freaking deep.
Are you tired of boring and uninspired lunches? Done to death with coworkers and schoolmates making fun of you for your simple packaging? Well, now you can ditch those mundane paper bags and get the all-new Bourbon on Ice lunchbox. Made from easy-to-clean and dishwasher-safe stainless steel and built to last. Just watch as we run over the Bourbon on Ice lunchbox with a family minivan. Not even a scratch on it. Featuring two classic scenes from the Bourbon on Ice talk show with your favorite hosts, Frosty and Mike Whiskey, on either side and wrap around nerdy imagery. The Bourbon on Ice lunchbox makes a perfect gift. Just listen to one of our satisfied customers.
All my construction buddies used to think I was wicked lame bringing the same old paper bag to lunch break all the time. But now that I got the new Bourbon on Ice lunchbox, I'm the one with the last laugh.
And when you call an order, ask about our extra-sized lunchbox. That's right, you can get our regular-sized and extra-large lunchboxes, all for the low price of $19.99. Call now at 555-LUNCHBOX.
I don't think either of us will ever be the same.
Will you be the same, dear listener?
We've toyed with your minds. We've said awful things. Don't worry. We're done now.
We have 3 more words.
Oh, right. Let's go. Take this, audience.
Number 21. Liberosis. The desire to care less about things.
Liberosis. Isn't he the piano guy?
Liberati?
Liberace. That was a really bad joke. But it is Pride Month, so I figured I'd throw that out there. I'm sitting here in in Chippewa riding boots and a leather shirt and cuff and just my jeans, and he doesn't care.
Nope.
Okay.
I do not feel liberosis because I could not care less already.
He doesn't care about me. Oh, that's because he suffers liberosis. Quick, get a ribbon.
Does he need help? He needs a ribbon and his own month. He spouted out his water again, guys.
Stop telling the audience and doing that. Glass, go away. You're never being drunk. I'm not finishing you in this house. Okay. Oh, wait, I do know this one.
I shared this one with you a while ago.
But not just that. I watched the show Mom. It was a CBS show, Mom. Very funny, but thought-provoking comedy. And in one episode, one of the characters tells the other person, "You're experiencing Alzheimer's. It's the opposite of Schadenfreude."
Yes.
And they went on to explain
Well,
it.
no, it's not the opposite of Schadenfreude.
Or cousin, or something like that. But
Number
okay,
22, Alzheimer's. Weariness with the same old issues that you've always had. The same boring flaws and anxieties that you've been gnawing on
for years.
This one is you, Frosty.
Germany, do you just live to dictate my life with awesome words? I feel like I should have that tattooed on me. Alzheimer's. Are you related to the Doofens?
The Doofenshmirtz. Yes, I'm Alzheimer's.
I think he said that. I think at one point he actually said that during the course of the... If he said that, that would have been one of those low-key, really clever, adult-only jokes.
It would have been. But this... I can actually translate this one. Alzheimer's is literally two words that have been smashed together. Alt meaning old, and schmerz being dirt. More a little bit like
old
dirt.
Old Weariness dirt. With the same... Again, I thought this condition was just called being alive.
And our last word, number 23 on this list that was given to us by Bob.
Ochioloism?
I've been thinking it's oculism.
Oculism?
Not to be confused with alcoholism. Which is what we are.
Hey, I want you to know I am perfectly manageable. I manage to pick myself up every time I fall down.
There you go.
Okay.
The awareness of the smallness of your perspective. You're just cringing. We can even do right. We can even do this with math, Frosty.
Please don't.
Imagine a circle. Do you know the?
I know what a circle is.
Yes. Imagine a circle, and you know how to get the area of a circle, right?
Oh, wait, yes, sorry.
Yeah, 2r times pi? Pi? Yeah.
Area, yes.
Yeah, 2r pi.
I'm just going to continue believing this because I don't want to admit to the entire audience that it's been a really long time since I've thought about calculus, and it's showing. Oh, gosh, my mother is going to kill me.
And then the perimeter of the circle is diameter times pi. Or something like that.
Something along those lines, yes.
It might be the reverse. But anyways, as the area grows, the perimeter is growing faster than the area. So the perimeter expands faster than the area.
This is
and so
your
awareness of the sphere of your knowledge, what you don't know grows faster than what you do know.
I'm starting to feel really hungover. I think I'm just going to lie down and put my head between my legs.
We're not...
The awareness of the smallness of your perspective, you know this because you read it. Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes, Calvin and Hobbes.
Do you remember this one 4-panel joke where he is standing outside underneath a starry sky in the dark? He looks up and shouts, "I'm significant!" And then the last panel, scream the despect. That's what I'm thinking of immediately. Like realizing, like, wow. In terms of universal importance, I'm nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I'm okay with that because it's called oculism. I have oculism. Oh, gosh. It's like a movement. You've made peace with the fact that you are meaningless in the grand scheme of existence. How do you feel? It feels oculistic. Cue the refrain of the big number that came in Act 1. Oculism, ain't it grand? We don't have to take a stand because we are no one in the grand scheme of things.
Can you tell he was a theater kid?
Also, it's Pride Month.
This has been Bourbon on Ice.
And we went to some weird places, but don't worry, we'll be back to weirder ones next time. Everyone keep answering that question. The Whiskey Ask question. We've been getting so many responses, we wanted to hang a shingle out there, see how many more we get.
We will be answering that in the next video.
And the question once again?
Oh, that's right. If you could learn an instrument in a year, what would it be? We've already gotten a lot of answers.
Yes,
and we're waiting for more replies. So thank you so much for that.
You can reach us on Twitter at Whiskey Frosty or email us at whiskeyandfrosty@yahoo.com.
Also find us on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, we have YouTube now!
Yes, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you like us. We promise not to bombard your feed for the next foreseeable future.
You, hush up. Start embracing lackeyism. I'm your friend Frosty.
And I'm your bartender, Mike Whiskey.
And as always, have a cold one on us.
I love these words.
I love them too, but they will never, ever make it back into conversation.
No, only a few. I think.
I'm having a Juiska right now.
Yeah, I think Juiska. And I think Liberosis will stick for me.
This podcast was recorded at and produced by Cape Media Center on Cape Cod, Massachusetts by podcasting duo Mike Whiskey and Your Friend Frosty. All music and sound credits go to soundstripe.com. Special thanks to Jamie Horton, Emily Tulloch, Gabrielle Rawson. For more information on Bourbon on Ice, visit our social media page at twitter.com/whiskeyfrosty. For more information on Cape Media Center, visit capemedia.org. For more listening options and a variety of podcasting entertainment, visit our hosts at buzzsprout.com and capemediacenter.org.